Moose here again. So in this video, this is going to be my first ever sand casting video. I know that some of you guys who watch my other stuff, I found out that through the analytics on YouTube that like less than 5% of the people who watch my videos are subscribed. So, so some of you who are watching this may not know this, but in previous videos, I've asked folks to send in some keys, brass keys. It's at a project that I wanted to do, and yeah, so thanks to a bunch of people that I've already mentioned in other videos who have sent in keys, and most recently to TC McKee, sent in a whole box of keys as well. I now have more than enough keys for this project, which I'm very excited about, and I just want to make sure that I mention that this is perfectly legal. I'm going to be making a pair of brass knuckles. Now in Maine, it's perfectly legal to own them. You just can't carry them. So in my house, it's fine to have them here, but I can't bring it with me anywhere, which is fine. I just thought it'd be a simple, great first attempt at sand casting. Now with these things, you know, they say the more work you do up front, as far as like, you know, making sure your foam or your 3D printed item, whatever, is nice and smooth and, you know, what you want it to be. The more work you do there, the less work you'll have to do after with sanding and filing and all that stuff. But this is, you know, with this I'm okay if it's a little rough. It's not the best foam to use. Normally there's like another kind of foam they're usually like pink or blue, that's a much finer grain. This is like big balls in it. So, but anyway, it's going to do the trick. So thanks again to all those folks who sent in keys. Appreciate it. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be melting. This whole crucible is filled with brass keys. Make sure that you check them first with a magnet, so steel ones don't sneak in there. And then if they seem a little white, or sorry, if they seem a little light or light in weight and color, take a file to them, because there's a lot of aluminum keys. Pull a whole bunch of those out of the box. That's alright, save those for a different project. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try my very first attempt at sand casting these brass knuckles. And then whatever is left, I'm just going to make my very first brass bar. So, 2 firsts in 1 video. Alright, so first thing we have is, well, this is a flask. Sometimes you have 2 of them that are together. One would be called a cope, the other a drag. So what you want to do is, you know, this is just a cheap pine one that I threw together in like 5 minutes. You know, some scrap that I had hanging around. So you want to make sure you have a nice flat, smooth surface. You take your item, you center it in there. Now, if this is something that you're going to be pulling out, like if it's like a 3D printed item, you're going to want to like dust it with baby powder and brush it around so that it's like a release agent, so when you can pull it out, and you won't do that with this. This is basically, I think, what they call lost foam casting. So I'm not going to remove the foam out of the sand. I'm just going to pour the brass right on the foam, and it'll melt it as it fills in. So yeah, so this is Petrobond, which is a casting sand that's, I believe it has like oils in it and other stuff. There's recipes out there for making your own casting sand, and I tried, did not have a whole lot of success, but I mean, I suppose it's fine. This is making your own is definitely far cheaper, but if you want to do fine detail, this stuff works better. Obviously with this one I don't really care about the Bull Moose bullion bars that I have, or that I want to make. I've got a 3D printed bar, and fine sand like this will pick up the details a lot better, so that's what I'm looking for. Alright. And well, so first things first, we want to cover that up with sand. Alright, so we're sprinkling some sand in there. This stuff it's not exactly cheap. It's like 30 bucks for 10 pounds. I've got a link in the bottom of my description here to where I got it on Amazon, which came from PMC, which is a company that sells all kinds of casting products. So, got that. Now we want to tap it down. You don't want to go overboard with it, from what I understand. Keep in mind, this is the first time I'm doing this. I have read a bunch about it and watched a whole ton of videos. See, Art by Adrock, he does a lot of this stuff. Big Stack Decasting, of course, he's another great one. Now, when I built these little boxes, I didn't know how much sand was going to fit in them, because I wanted to be able to do like multiple ingots at the same time, but wasn't sure if I'd be able to. And looking at this, it looks like I might be able to get three going at once with the amount of sand that I have, which is pretty nice. So when this is all good and packed, I should be able to lift it up and everything will stay right in place. Alright, maybe I'll only be able to do 2 boxes with the amount of sand I have. Now, another thing about this sand is it doesn't last forever. Every time you use it, whatever comes in contact with the metal tends to burn. And it doesn't necessarily work too well after that. It can certainly be reused for a little while, but not indefinitely. So what I've noticed is a lot of people, what they'll do is they will take the stuff that burns and like scrape it off with a spoon and then put that separately. Lift it, should all stay right in place. All right, take that sand, throw it right back in my bag there. All right, so this, make sure you keep it sealed, airtight container. You don't want it to dry out on you. I've got a little bucket that I'm going to put that in. And this is ready to go. So I'm going to get the forge fired up. I'm going to melt these down, get myself a pair of knuckle dusters, and at least 1 bar. Maybe 2, we'll see.
breathe this white smoke.
Alright, well that was another fun video. So all in all, I did some very rough cleaning on it. For my first sand casting, not bad. I don't think it came out that bad at all. So I'm going to hook up my new bench sander and clean off the back side and level it out a little bit. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that. This is also my first ever brass bar right here. It's a small one, and all together about 3.5 pounds. And then if you recall from the last video, I ran out of gas as I was melting some copper, and I let that copper cool in the crucible, so I had to melt that out and got another nice copper bar weighing in at almost 4 pounds 4 ounces. So there we go, another good melt. And as you saw in the on the stopwatch, that it took, I mean, it really took that whole crucible. So that was a total of what, 3.5 pounds of brass keys. It took less than 15 minutes to melt it all. And that is that's pretty impressive, because it was done way before I poured it. It was probably done in like 13 minutes. And the setting that I had for the pressure on the tank was 1.2. I've been using that for copper and brass. Well, this is the first, I used it for brass today. It was the first time I've done that. And aluminum, I usually keep it like 1.0. So yeah, so there we go. So we've got some nice new bars to add to the collection. And I am going to be polishing these up. I'm going to do a video on polishing them up once I get the sander up and going. And take a look at that. And if you're noticing anything to the left of me here, over here, from here, all this stuff, this was dropped off by a fellow YouTuber who happens to live in Maine as well, not far from me, which always blows my mind that, you know, YouTube is worldwide and someone 30 minutes away watches my stuff. So he dropped off some telecom stuff and a tower. So the next video I'll be taking this apart, and it looks promising. Some of it looks a little old. I saw one ceramic chip there, so I'm hopeful that there's going to be more stuff. This thing right here is really heavy, which has me curious because it's fairly small. So if it's more copper to melt, yay. If not, at least there'll be something in it. So that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share, hit that bell, do all that stuff. And I am working on something else. I know I canceled the 100,000 subscriber giveaway contest because I really don't think I'm going to make 40 some odd thousand subscribers in the next 6 months. If I do, great. If I do, I'll still do the whole giveaway thing, I swear. But otherwise, even if I don't, I'm planning something different, get fairly big, and I'll have more information in June. And if you like the videos that I've been posting recently, you'll like the prize for this one. Alright, so again, thanks for watching. See you all later.